Hey guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video we're going to take a look at Wild Blue by John Mayer. And again, this was requested and supported by Clay, so big thanks goes out to him for the support. In this lesson we're going to take a look at all of the parts of the song, including the two rhythm guitars and two solos. And the tops and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com or on my Patreon page. You can find the links in the description box down below. I will also post the playthrough of the entire song onto my other channel, and the link is also going to be in the description box down below, so if you're interested, please check it out. For the sound, again, I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now. We're going to be in standard tuning, so while you're checking out the picture of the preset, I'm going to play you my low E string so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so as always, we're going to break up the song into parts. And before we start breaking down the different parts, just want to say that in this song, in the studio version and also at live performances, John is playing with a couple of other guitarists. So there are 2-3 guitar parts going on at the same time at certain parts. But what we're going to do, we're going to concentrate mainly on John's guitar. Obviously, and then I'll talk about the additional guitars as well and how you can incorporate kind of both of the guitars into one. So let's start with the intro and the way John is playing it. So just keep in mind that he always plays a lot of variations even on the same part. So for example, in the intro he would play something like this. Alright, so just to outline the song, how it goes, so we have the chord progression here. So it starts off with the A minor, then it goes into C major, then we have F major 7 or F major, depends, and then we have the last chord is the D minor. Now you can play this in different positions, obviously, but the way John is playing, he's kind of playing around this A center here. So all of the chords that he's playing, he's using the different variations of the cage system. So, for example, for the A minor, you know, it's the E shape, obviously. Then when he goes to C, he would play it like this. So you have here the G shape here, or the first inversion. Then for F major 7, he would use this shape. And for the D minor, obviously on the 5th string root note. So he's playing around this area here without moving up or down the neck. And it's quite convenient actually, and also he's using some double stops in between. So for example, when he goes in the intro, right, so he would play the chord. Also he would break it up into lower strings or the bass notes, or you know, playing on the lower strings and then adds the higher strings, also muted strings as well. So it's all about the kind of stylistic type of thing, rhythm. So like I said, he would start off by playing the A minor, and then he would play this double stop, which is on the 7th fret or the G8 fret on the B string, and it's a kind of like a part of the G chord. So he plays around, you know, with this little kind of triads, double stops, between the chords. So in the beginning we have, like I said, playing the A minor, then he plays the double stop of the G major, then he goes into C, right? So again, kind of the same way, playing the lower strings first, muted strings, then adds a couple of higher strings, then he would play this in, again, it's kind of like a, it's not really a part of the G triad, but just you know, adding this note here on the G string, 7th fret, and he would hit like a double stop, or sometimes you can hear just clearly just one note, so changing from the C chord like that, and then he goes into F major 7. So sometimes he would hit this note, or sometimes he would play just a part like of A minor. But you can definitely hear this note he plays a lot. Like that, and then he goes into F major 7. And here also from the F major 7, again the same way as we did with the A minor and C major chords. So hitting the chord first, then muted strings, then a couple of hits of the chord again. And then he would play, for example, this, the triad of A minor, and then he goes into D minor chord, right? So he would play the D minor chord, sometimes on the off beat, lets it ring out a little bit longer, then again muted strings, and then he plays something like this. He changes it every time, but just pull-offs. So we have the A minor chord here, but he's playing the pull-off. First time you can play it from the D minor to A minor, and then D minor 7. So instead of, he plays this little change, variations like that, but he's using that all the time. Or you can do, you know, just twice doing the D minor 7 chord, pulling off to that A minor triad, like that. And he would use different rhythmical figures as well. I'll show it later on. So, you know, that just goes to show how many variations he uses, but the bulk of the riff that he does is like that. So as you can see on the D minor, like I said, we have these pull-offs in 8th notes, or sometimes he would play so like a triplet feel. And also he would use the grace notes, so meaning quick hammer-ons, like that. Alright, so that's the intro part. Let me play it one more time, slow. It's gonna go something like this. Alright, so now we're gonna go right into the verse, and for the verse again we have the same chord progression, nothing changes, and John is playing pretty much still the same chords, but without much movement. So he's not playing the double stops here, he's just rather playing the chords, because he's singing, you know, I presume that he wants to make it a little bit easier for him to play. Of course, in the background, or there are a second guitar which is playing, kind of arpeggiating the chords, or playing in different positions to create different sounds. But let's just take a look at John's guitar. So, like I said, just the chords, and he's playing random rhythmical patterns, so something like this. So as you can see, nothing too complicated. He plays the chords, again kind of breaking them up into lower part and higher strings. Also a lot of muted strings, sometimes open strings as passing notes to get from one chord to another. Something like that. So that's the verse. So he plays this chord progression for 2 times. Then we go into the chorus. So for the chorus, we have the following chord progression. We have G for 1 bar, and then we have C for 1 bar, F for 2 bars, and we repeat it. We play it for 3 times. Now, John is pretty much kind of keeping the rhythmical figure going from the verse. But slightly different, maybe just playing the chords, letting them ring out, and adds a couple of notes here and there, like playing a little melody. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. So yeah, he's pretty much playing just the chords, maybe arpeggiating them a little bit. He does that on the F, for example. For the second bar, he would play the hammer-on from open to the first string on the B string, from the open to the first fret on the B string, sorry, and then back again to the G. So he does play a little melody, and the second guitar actually is playing melody as well, and arpeggiating the chord a little bit more. So this is the point where you can combine 2 guitars together and play the chords and the little melody. So you can start by playing the whole chord, or just the triad, and then you go. So you go B string, 3rd fret, high E, 3rd fret. Then you have 6th fret on the B string. Then we go into the C chord, and also the 5th fret of the B string. Then you can pick a random string while on the C chord, and then you go 5-3 on the B string into the F chord, and just staying here. Again, picking different strings just to make the chord ring out, and then basically we repeat again. And then 3rd time as well. And then we come to this kind of bridge section where we have this melody. So it's open G, then we go to the B string 1st fret to the open, back to the G string on a 2nd fret. And you stay on this note a little bit longer, so. And it's got this triplet feel. Then you repeat the first part again by starting with the G string open, so you play it twice, and then you continue open on the B string, open, first fret to the third, back to the first, back to open. And then we go to the 7th fret on the D string, or on the G if you play on the second guitar, but I specifically pointed out this note because then we're back actually to the intro riff. So it's combines, connects two parts together. So that's how it goes. So basically, structure-wise, for the verse, we play the chord progression A minor to the C to the F major 7 to D minor twice, and then for the chorus we have the G, C with the little melody F for 2 bars. We play it for 3 times, and then we have the bridge section. And so on and so forth. So then, like I said, we go into the intro part again, play it through once, and actually at the end of this part there is a little lick which goes. Let me just play it through, and then I'll break it down. I'll show you how it goes. So it goes like this. So this is the bridge after the first chorus, after the first verse and chorus. Alright, so again, it's exactly the same way as we did with the intro, and then when you get to the D chord, you let it ring out, hit muted strings, and then so it's an arpeggio of the D minor chord from going up to down. So you slide into the 6th fret on the B string, sorry, and then you go 7 on G7 on D, and then 8 to 7 on the A string. If you play just on one guitar, after the 8th fret, you want to go into the chord right away. So if you play this with the second guitar, then you can play that note here separately, or you can go into the chord right away. So that's the only difference with the intro part, and then after that we go into the second verse and second chorus. So for the second verse, it's pretty much the same thing, so follows the same rhythmical pattern and the same chords, obviously. And for the second chorus, we're gonna have also the same chord progression, but with a few fills, phrases played at the end of each of the sections. But before we get into that, I just want to mention also another guitar which has been playing. It's a rhythm guitar, sort of like a following the bass line, follows the bass line, and it's playing pretty much the same figure throughout the verses and the choruses. So I'm just going to show it to you right now, and just keep in mind that it's played separately. So the line during the intro and the verses is going to go like this. Alright, so it's palm muted to create this kind of funky feel as well. And we have some rests in between the notes, between the lines. So it starts off, actually starts off in the intro part, it starts off right with the like that. So it goes 5th fret on the low E string twice, then you go to the 8th fret, and then you go to the 7th fret on the A string, like that. Then the second line is going to be, so 2 times on 7th fret on A string, then you go 8th fret on low E, 5th fret on the A. Then again we repeat the first phrase, but this time we end on the 5th fret of the A string. So 5, 5 on low E, 8, and then 5th fret on the A. And then to finish off the round we have, so it's 5th fret on the A string twice to the 3rd fret, and then 5, 3 on the low E string. And actually you go into the beginning of the figure again. So this note, the first note, is not played in the intro like I said the first time. However, after that he always, when he comes back from this line, he starts off with the 5th fret on the low E string. Okay, so that's the only small difference. And that's pretty much the entire line that is being played during the verses. So for 2 times you play that. And then for the chorus we have a different line going on, so I'll play it through, then we're going to break it down. It's going to go like this. Okay, so here we have on the 3rd fret, low E string, first note, little rest, then you play 3 more times, again little rest, then you play once, then you go for the C chord, we play, so 2 times on the 3rd fret of the A string, 2 times on the 5th fret of the D string, and you repeat it twice. Then we go to the F, so the 1st fret on the low E string. So you play the first note, let it ring out, so it's a beat and a half, then an 8th note, then follows again a beat and a half, an 8th note. And then you have, so 2 times on the 1st fret of the low E, then you play an octave, 3rd fret on the D string 3 times, beat and a half, and then 1st fret on the low E, and then we start the chorus section again. So that's pretty much it. Throughout the song, I think in the 3rd chorus or something like that, he slightly changes. There is a little variation of the rhythm and also the notes, but actually it's not that, it's not very different. So instead of, for example, instead of playing 2 times the 8th note, he would play, you know, just lets the note ring out for quarter note. And for the F, for example, he would play, so, you know, just kind of arpeggiating and, you know, playing a little riffs, different rhythmical figures on notes. Instead of, you know, hitting them and letting them ring out, he would play 3 8th notes instead of beat and a half, and stuff like that. I mean, you know, it's not too, nothing major of a difference to play, but he would add different rhythmical figures here and there. So that's about it for the additional guitar. I'm not going to spend any time on that. We're going to move on to verse 2. So verse 2 of John Guitars, like I said, it's pretty much the same as with what we did during the first verse. We're gonna go right into the second chorus where we have some additional phrases going on. So first I'm gonna play it through, then I'm gonna break it down. It goes something like this. Alright, so as you can see, the first part, the beginning of the chorus from the G chord to the C to the F are exactly the same. And then we have the first feel. So we have here sliding to the 5th fret on the G string. Then we go to the high E 5-3. Then onto the B 6-5-3. And then 5th fret on the G string, and then we're back to the G chord again, playing it as it is. And then we have, so sliding into the 10th fret on the G string this time, and then you have 8 on high E, 10 on B, 10 on G, and slide out. And then again, third time, just repeat the chord progression. And then we have the bridge section. So that's the one guitar is doing, but actually we go into the first solo. So from the bridge section, we're gonna get into the solo. So as you play the bridge section, when you play open 1-3, instead of back again to the 1st fret, you go to the 5th fret, 8 with a slide bend, and then you have the high E string on the 5th fret. So we go into the solo now, and you add vibrato. You stay on this note for 2 beats. Then we have the first phrase, which goes like this, slowly. So we have here pull off on the B string 8-5. Then you go to the G string 7th fret. Then another pull off 8-5 on the B string. Then you have 2 more pull offs, 7-5 on G, 7-5 on D. Then you go back to the G string and you play 2 pull offs, 7-5, and then the second pull off is going to be on the D string. Go into the A string 7th fret. Then you have 7th fret on D, so roll in motion with one finger here. And then back to the A string, slide down to the 5th fret, pull off to the 3rd fret. Then you have sliding into the 7th fret on the A. Then you go to the G string 5-4, 5-7 on the D. So all together, this phrase slowly is going to go like this. So keep in mind that these pull-offs are all 16th notes up until you have the sliding into the 7th fret on the A string. All of these notes are eighth notes. So that's the first phrase. Then we have, so sliding into the 7th fret on the D string, 2 times 6th fret on the B, then you go to the 5th fret, then onto the G7 fret 2 times, then the next phrase, 5th fret on the G, then you go to the B string 8, 10, 7, 8 on the high E, back to the B string 10th fret, add some vibrato. Then we have 7, 8, 10 on the high E, slide into the 12, and then 8th fret on the B string. Then we have so slide bend, kind of half a step bend on the 12th fret, bring it down, little rest, then we have pull off 12 to 10, little rest, then another pull off 10 to 8, and then we go to the bend on the B string 10th fret. You bend it up, bring it down, play that note, then you go to the G string 9, 7, 8 on B, back to the G string 7th fret. So it's sliding out. The next phrase, so repetitive phrase here, so bend on the G string 7th fret, and then you have 8th fret on the B. And then you alternate that with, again, bend on the 7th fret G string with the 5 on high E. And you do it for 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Last time you let it ring out a little bit longer, then you have so quick pull off 8 to 5 on the B string, go into the G7, then back to the B string 8th fret, then we have a bend on the G string 7th fret, 5 on B, and then you have a pre-bend and bring down the string from the 7th fret on the G string, go into the 5th fret, and then you play 7 to 5, then 7 on D, back to the G string 5, 7, with bend. While it's bent, you pick B string on the 5th fret, and then you bring down from the bend the G string on the 7th fret, back to the 5th, and then we go into the chorus. So just this last phrase slowly is gonna go like this. Okay, and that's the end of the first solo. So now I'm gonna play the whole solo, all of the parts together slowly, starting from the bridge section. It's gonna go like this. Alright, so after the solo we go into the third chorus, and we have a couple of different fills in the end of each section, so we'll go over that right now. So again we have the G to C to F. So that's the first one. So you're sliding into the 10th fret on the B string, go into the 13, 12, 10 on high E, and then on the B string you have 13, 12, 10, 12 on the G string, and then back to the G chord again. Again, getting to the F chord, and then we have. So here we have some double stops, sixes. So it's the first one starts off on the 7th fret of the high E and the G strings. So you pick it once, then second time, and slide down to the 5th fret. Little rest. Then we have the next double stop, which is 9th fret on G, 8th fret on the high E. And you pick it also twice, slide down to the 7th fret, and then you pick it and slide down to the 5th fret. So altogether it's like that. And then you are back to the. So we finish off with the last time when you play an F chord, and then we go into the bridge part again. So let me just go back to the beginning of the chorus, play the whole thing with the fills. It's gonna go like this. So here in this bridge section we actually have, so the first time that we play this part and we stay on it longer, then John is repeating it again. And then actually the third time that he plays, you know, the full ending of the phrase. And right in the end we go into the outro solo. So now we're gonna break down the outro solo, starting with the first phrase, which goes like this. So here we have, I believe it's a volume swell, or you can do it on the guitar, but of course in the studio you can do a lot of things here with bringing up the volume. But we have a pre-bend on the B string 15th fret. You bring it down and then you play 14 on the G and add some vibrato. And you can do it with the volume swell, like I said. So switch off, roll the volume all the way off on the guitar, pick the note, and then bring up the volume while the string is pre-bent, and then you gradually bring it down and then go to the 14th fret to create that effect. Then the next phrase we have so 12th fret on the G string, pick it twice, and then you slide to the 14th fret and you go to 14 on the D string. Stay on this note, then you have 10 to 12 on the D string, 12 on A, 10 on D. Adding some vibrato, staying on these notes, and then we have, so just sliding from the 10th fret down to the 9, down to the 7, adding some vibrato. So these phrases are played separately. I mean, you have some rests in between. So I'm just showing you the phrases themselves, and then, you know, when you have the playthrough or listen to the original track, and I'll play also the solo in the end, the whole thing, you know, it makes sense. But the phrases are separate on their own. So then we have the next one. So here we have on the B string 15th fret, bend it up, bring it down, pull off to 13, then back again to the 15, and then you have a gradual bend. Rest, and then, so that's the next phrase, 14 on the G, then you go to the B string 13, 15, hammer on, then back to the G string 14th fret 2 times. Adding some vibrato. Next phrase. Again we have 15th fret on the B string, bend it up, bring it down, pull off to 13, then back to the 15, and it's a gradual bend. Next phrase. 12th fret, G string, half a step bend, bring it down, 10th fret. Add some vibrato. Next phrase is a little bit longer one. First I'm going to play it through, then we're going to break it down. So it goes like this. So I'm going to stop right here. So we start off with, so kind of arpeggiating the A minor chord here. So it starts off with the D string 7th fret, then we go to the G 5, then 7, then 5 on B, 5 on high E, back to the B string 5th fret. Like that, with this specific rhythm. And then you have, so alternating 5th fret on the B string with the 8 on high E, then again B string 5th fret, and then you alternate it with the high E 5th fret. So you do it for 3 times, and then third time you play the 7th fret instead of 5th fret. And then you have 5th fret on the high E, then you slide quickly into the 10th fret on the B string, and you pick that note, little rest, and then again slide and you pick that note. Add some vibrato. So one more time the whole phrase, slowly. The next phrase goes like this. So it's 10th fret on the B string, quarter note, then you have 8 on high E, 9 on G, and then 10 on B again. Adding some vibrato. Then we have the next phrase. 10 on high E, 8, and then 7, slide down to the 5th fret. Adding some vibrato. Then we have, so on the G string you slide into the 9th fret down to 7. Stay on this note a little bit longer, then pick the 9th fret again 2 times, add some vibrato. Next phrase. So 2 quick notes here, 16th notes on the 7th fret on the D string, going to the G 5th fret, and then quickly going back to the D7. Adding some vibrato. Next phrase. Hammer on 5 to 7 on the D, 7 on G, back to 7 on D. Then we play the same phrase but an octave higher. So 12 to 14 on the G string, 13 on B, back to the G string 14. Adding some vibrato. Next phrase. Bend on the B string, 15th fret, bend it up, bring it down, 13, back to 15. 14 on G, add some vibrato. Next phrase. So here we have first bend on the B string. So you bend it up, bring it down, and then bend up again and stay on this note for a whole bar and a half. And then while the string is bent up, you pick the high E, pick the B string, bring it down, and then you go 13, 15, 14 on G. So. Next phrase. 13th fret on the B string, bend up, bring down, 10th fret. Next phrase. So here we have a quick slide from around 14 frets on the D string to 12, 10, and then sliding from 12 to 14 on the G string. And the last phrase that you can hear, 12 on D, and then slide from the 12th fret up to the 14 on the G string. Adding some vibrato. And that's how the song fades out, and that's the end of the solo and the song as well. Alright, so now I'm going to play the whole solo. It's going to be just, playing the phrases back to back, and it's not going to be tied to a specific time, because without music, you can't really play it like that. But I'm just going to play all of the phrases together, and so you can hear and see what's going on. So it's going to go like this. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, please smash that thumbs up button. Also comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.